Hello everybody from a million miles away from Ireland. So I just want the top of the local towers. Well, obviously I'm trying to look, and obviously it's hard because I'm up literally 2 hours sleep basically, and I'm running around the place at 150 miles an hour and 100 miles away from home. But I just want to talk about the local elections, as you know, and the European elections too, because we have some news to talk about on that. So first of all, obviously I've been talking about the local elections in the last video. It's unfortunate I'm a million miles away, of course. So there has been another candidate declared for the Cavan of my area. Now, to be totally honest, I'm shocked. Like, why the whole picture of Ireland at the moment, I thought Sinn Féin a few months ago would run away with it, to be totally honest. I thought people would be through it by Sinn Féin. Thankfully, people seeing them from what they are, and that much magic money, etc., and immigration, for example, nowhere to be found. What an open door policy, etc. Again, Sinn Féin never bothered to clarify it, and we all know what they stand for, and the public have shown that they don't trust them. And again, Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael have done decently well. I probably should have got another kick in, but I'd say they have wounds to lick, let's put it that way. But Damien Brady, talking about Sinn Féin in Cavan, he was kicked out in 2019, now he's back in the Cavan Beltobad area. As a councillor in Cavan Beltobad. Now, in the last election, obviously Sinn Féin done terribly. They literally were wiped out nearly. They had three councillors, and they only have one. So now they have one elected at the moment. We don't know about the other seats yet. So we have to wait and see. From what I have in front of me, obviously we know about Annie Smith and Anya Smith, may I say too. I keep saying Annie Smith. But and then Brendan Fay, which of course I'm very delighted that Brendan Fay got in as an independent. As somebody that would have ran in that area, I'm delighted that an independent got in. So I'm delighted. And then again, another reason why I didn't run for the council too was because I thought Sinn Féin generally would fool people in Cavan and get a majority, but it doesn't seem to be the case. To be told, because the Sinn Féin for the Bricker Wall was eliminated in the last count, and the Green Party didn't do too well either. They only got 1% of the vote in Cavan. Labour actually did better than they ever did in their history in Cavan, in the Cavan Beltobad area. They got 3.8% of the vote, which is really, really good for Labour, for a party that never really had a grassroots or any connections in Cavan, basically. But still, at the same time, they've done reasonably well, which you know, we have to say they've done reasonably well, considering they never really had much of a foothold, and obviously people for profit doesn't exist, and the Social Democrats don't exist. And now I'm sure people know about Trevor Phillips too. The Fine Gael post was elected in Bally James Duff area. Now it's unfortunate too that Gary Cosgrove and Phil McCongrove were not elected in Cootehill. It's unfortunate that I would have wanted to see them be elected along with Sarah Wiley. It's unfortunate that didn't happen. It's sad to see that. I wish they would have, but it wasn't to be, unfortunately. But they're not going to give up anyway. But hopefully they will get into the next level if they go for the TD position, whatever the case may be. So what to talk about nationally too. So obviously we know Sinn Féin didn't do well. Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael didn't do great, but they still reasonably well. But at the end of the day, the people that really shined in this election, it's the independents, the people, the common man and the common woman, the only man and the only woman. They're the people that really shined in this election. And it's good to see, because again, as an independent person, I know myself if I was going to run, you're on your own, basically. You have a few people supporting you, but you're on your own financially, etc. You have to campaign yourself. You don't have the resources of the state like if you're a political party, etc. So I do understand, and I do admire anybody who puts their name as an independent. Because it's not an easy game compared to if you win Sinn Féin or Fianna Fáil, because everything's paid for you and etc. It's a huge burden, you know, one as an independent. So I'm sure everybody's hoped Gavin Pepper, a well-known Irish nationalist, has been elected, which is great to see too, along with Malcolm Stevenson of Dublin too. So 2 Irish nationalists have been elected, which is great to see. It is good to see, because we do need, and this is the main thing that's needs to be addressed, is the immigration, and it has to be addressed because we're bringing in far too many people every day of the week, and we have nowhere to put them. It's just going to blow up in our faces eventually. It has blown up in our faces. It's going to blow up even more, because it's unsustainable. It can't last forever. Something has to give, basically. And we do need to put a stop. We need to use common sense, common knowledge, I would call it, because it's just far too many people coming in, and we're just a small country. We simply cannot do it. It has a housing crisis, etc. It can't be done. It simply can't be done. We've done what we could. We can do no more. And that's what we have to say straight up, and not be dishonest with ourselves. You know, not even just with the electric, just dishonest with ourselves. Now, just talking about the Finnish parliamentary elections here, obviously I've been watching what's been happening here. I was actually at a Social Democrats yoke yesterday. They don't do door to door, or they don't have posters here, which is great. I do support that. But obviously door to door, they should probably go to door. But Finnish people don't want to really be disturbed in their house, etc. They don't, especially by politicians. So they have public events in public squares, etc., where people they can participate in democracy. They can come and talk to their MPs or to whoever. But it was good to be at the Social Democrats one yesterday, to hear things and to see what was happening on the ground. And obviously the true Finns, etc. I talked about it in another video, but they've really fucked over the country up in fields. And I will say that straight because I've seen it myself in many regards. From talking to people, etc., from talking to people on the ground, you can really tell people are not very happy with them. But yeah, so Lai Anderson of the Left Alliance, obviously the Mona Lisa's at the House. Unfortunately, there's no Mona Lisa here. Friend has been elected, well, not been elected, but nearly has been elected, basically guaranteed to be elected to the European Parliament, an MP for Finland. Basically, she's broken a record for 164,000 votes, first preference votes, as an MP for the European Parliament. So basically, she's broken the record for the amount of votes. It's 1997 since a candidate got that many votes for the European Parliament. So as you see, there's a huge change in the wind. And why that's significant, just to say. You probably wonder why that's significant. Because at the moment, there's a silent, I suppose, like a silent revolution happening here against the True Finns and the Conservative, the coalition party that's in government at the moment. People are not happy with the government. And again, Lai Anderson was kind of the main spokesman against the government, if that makes any sense. So it just really goes to show when you see that huge matter. And again, 1 in 5 people in Helsinki, because that's where I am at the moment, voted for Lai Anderson in the European Parliament elections. Like 14% of Finland, just to put in perspective, voted for Lai Anderson, which is huge. That's a huge, out of a population really just about 5.5 or so million people. That's a lot, 14% of the country. It's a significant number, and 164,000 is a significant number too. Probably the whole population of Cavan, the whole population of Monaghan and Leitrim, to put it in perspective, Ireland, and a bit of Longford maybe. So that's a huge amount of votes. But yeah, just wanted to talk about that and bring that to your attention. So obviously trying to follow that too at the same time, because obviously I'm here what to try and know what's happening. But yeah, so let me know what you think. I'll keep you updated. So thank you.